it's about time we got a big block in the shop. All right. We're talking about 396 with a 4-speed backed up behind it. This right here is one big unit. Let me tell you right now. That engine probably weighs as much as a baby rhino. Okay? I'd hate to drop it on my toe. I'm just saying. Anyway, today we're going to be doing normal maintenance on this car. It's got a few quirks to it. The ignition needs some work. I think the switch is just junk. So we'll probably switch that out. Probably going to have to order one, honestly. Other than that, really, it's pretty cut and dry with all it needs. I think the customers texted us and added a few more things to their list, but nothing insane, I don't believe. Um, yeah, so I'm pretty excited to dive into this. Like I said, we're just going to show the high points. So, yeah, pretty cool car, though. The big block is really cool. I mean, like, you think about prime muscle car, and in my mind, you got Camaro, the Chevelle, you know, stuff like that. Chargers. I like Chargers a lot. Um, but I think if you think top three most recognizable muscle car, oh, Mustangs, my apologies. Um, anyway, but like top three, this is definitely up there. The early generation Camaros, this particular body style, you know, this is up there. You see this going down the road, you know what you're looking at. You know what I mean? This is 100% top three most recognizable Chevrolet automobiles of all time. There's no doubt in my mind. This, probably the Vet, obviously, and then I don't know what else. Maybe a Chevelle. But really cool car, though. Excited to show you around it and show you what's up. So I'll pop you up in here where the big block's at. I'm going to keep saying big block because it's big block. So let me show you what this big block's all about. Yep, there she is. Big old big block. That's what you want. You hear this thing rumbling down the road? My goodness. You know you got every single uncle in the county standing on the sidewalk to hear it. Telling you. Sucker can jump a plum beer can. Gotta love it. I really do like it though. It really looks good in there. Looks like whoever built the car really took their time, did really good organization with their wiring, everything. The AC system looks pretty good. The serpentine system looks great. I really dig those plate style serpentine systems. So, like I said, I'm not seeing anything major right now. We lift it up, we might find something. So, if I do, I'll show you, but I really don't think we're going to. I think whoever built the car, really took their time and knew what they were doing. So, let me pop into the interior. Really clean interior. I love how the dashes in these cars curve over like that. I think that is such a cool touch. What year was that Vet? I believe the 72 Vets, like that, like the C3. I think their gauge cluster actually curved a lot more. But I always thought those were cool. I love the big high arch fenders on them C3s. I feel like when you're sitting in it, you're sitting in like a Batmobile. Really a nice car. I mean, I'd daily something like this, honestly. So let's get to work on it. All right, now that we're underneath it here, little moisture on the bottom of the differential. Uh, yeah, don't look too bad. We'll clean it up. Kind of looks like it's just the diff cover, really. The bottom failing. Don't see anything crazy. Normal amount of backlash. U-joint's tight. U-joint's tight here. Rear seal's leaking in the transmission. Can't tell if I think that's just oil on the transmission, which we'll clean all this off, and got a Moroso oil pan. But like I said, we'll clean all this off and see if we can see any major leaks or anything like that. It's definitely got oil down here, so it's definitely got a leak somewhere. Valve cover gaskets really look dry. Yeah, they're dry. So probably the pan gasket leaking a little. The oil filter is definitely leaking, like at the top, the seal. That really nice serpentine system. Really digging it. Power steering, everything. Aluminum radiator. I like it. So I'm gonna go through and we'll see what all they want fixed. Alright, so update here. We are gonna do the front sill. It's already uninstalled. I got the new one here already. Oil is drained with new filter on. It'll get filled back up when I lower the car. Transmission's drained, needs filled. We're going ahead and doing the tail shaft seal as well. It's out right now. I just went to the parts shop, everything's uninstalled. And then I got the diff cover off with the new gasket here. So let's get, I'm probably gonna start on the front seal. So yeah. Okay, so we got the front seal put in, harmonic balancer on and torqued down. Got the crankshaft pulley on. I did clean that up just a little to give it its polish back. And oil's drained, new filter. Filled the transmission up with gear oil. New tail shaft seal. Drive shafts back in. New rear end gasket, diff cover gasket. And the next step will be pulling a wheel off back here. One, to check and see if maybe there's some type of adjustment I can make on the emergency brake back here inside the drum housing. But also, we need to see how much threads we have, because if you look here, you can see where this tire is rubbing. Eventually that will pop. So I think if they had just a small spacer, if they have enough threads for it, a small spacer would save this tire. It's both sides, so you gotta love it. Let's pull a wheel off. All right, so as you can see now, there's really not much thread sticking out. So any type of spacer will not allow the lug nuts to function properly. So the way to get around this is possibly longer studs. And I think we might get in contact with the customer and see if they want to do all that. But you can see right there is where it's rubbing in the fender well. All right, so we're gonna be putting the horn in now. And the horn is such a crucial part to a car like this. Because you know when you hear that horn telling you to get out the way, this guy's got a street race for pink slips happening down the road in 2 minutes that he's got to get to. And you know he's winning. And that's why he's so eager to get there. So move, all right? Moral of the story, we're putting a horn on. And we're going to mount it right in there on that core support type thing. This is core support, but you know what I mean, like the bracing. So we'll mount it in there. It's a Woolo, I don't even know how you say it. Just a generic horn, high tone. But pretty nice horn. I've used them before, I like them. They're loud enough. And like I said, it's getting a push button. Let me grab that for you. Here's your push button. Just a clean little chrome push button. But, and we'll mount that somewhere in here. See, they got a lot of little chrome everywhere, so I think it'll blend in well. So, I did have to take the steering wheel off and put new springs on the turn signal selector because they were just flat wore out. I also had to put new ignition switch and lock tumbler, so that's new. So, been through it. The last thing after the horn is going to be the parking brake. I need to crawl under this dash and look at it and see if there's any adjustment there. Because, like I said, it needs a parking brake. I don't know if I've actually said that already, but it definitely needs one because, you know, you don't want to walk out of Walmart and your slick unit is laying in the side of a Camry. Alright? You're gonna be pretty PO'd. Alright? So if it was my car and I walked down this inside of a Camry, I just blame the other guy. That's what I'm saying. But it's always the Camry's fault, never the Camaro. But anyway, let's get this horn in. Alright, so now we're back with the horn installed. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's installed, wires and loom put up top. I lifted it back up though to work on the wheel studs in the rear so we can run those spacers to keep it from rubbing. And let me show you that now. Alright, so as you can see, the old one is closer to me. The new one is obviously longer, about a 1/4 inch longer. Now we're installing it. I'm going to install one and then lay the spacer in the wheel up there and just verify that it's long enough. I don't want to spend all the time putting all of them in and then them not even be right. So, stud is in there. This is just a normal spacer, just a thick spacer that the stud is just passing straight through. Then I'll tighten up the lug nut and it'll pull the stud into place. So let's do that real fast. All right, thanks so much for watching the video. Sorry that it's kind of splotchy and all over the place. Let me tell you everything we did to the car real fast. We did the front seal, we did an oil change and filter, trans oil change, trans tail shaft seal has changed, the diff cover gasket and oil has been refilled and the gasket was replaced, obviously. The spacers on the back wheels to keep the tires from rubbing the inner fender well. And we also did the ignition switch and key tumbler assembly because you would like turn it on, go into cranking, and you would have to wiggle the key to make the contacts hit, and then it would finally start cranking. Then we did the turn signal springs. The springs were wore out. They were rusty and everything. They were done for. So I put brand new springs in it. Now the turn signal arm returns to neutral. And I also put the horn on it. So now it has a horn. It's got a button down here because the mechanism in the steering column is not there to run the horn. So we just did the next best thing and put a button on it for him. And yeah, so we did all that to the transmission with the talks the whole time swapping this car to an automatic. And yeah, that kind of gets rid of part of the hot rod aspect of it. But it's an older gentleman and his sister. They ride around in the car together. And they, the 4-speed's kind of a lot to handle with a big block in front of it. So they're wanting a 400 turbo, and I'm going to try to do a video on this. And they're getting a 400 turbo that's built mildly to handle the big block power. So that'll be in the future. But they're going to keep the 4-speed. It'll stay with the car. I suggested, putting it in a crate, putting it on a shelf. If you ever go to sell the car, the next person may want the 4-speed with it, which is understandable. But it's really going to be a nice driver with that automatic. The automatic is going to allow them to go for further cruises. Like you get caught in traffic with this 4-speed with that stiff clutch, you're dead. I mean, it's difficult. And it's a lot of car to drive. So it's realistic hot rod. But moral of the story, it's going to get a 400. It's going to drive great with it. It's really going to be a nice driver with that 400. I'm really happy they're going with this route. So that's about everything I've done on the 67 Camaro we have here. And yeah, appreciate y'all for watching. Stay tuned. I do have a tea bucket coming in the future. if you like T-buckets, but it's got a 400 Chevrolet small block. And it's got a GM transmission. It's probably just a 350, turbo 350 in it, but it's in shambles, pieces. All right. Does have double hump heads, but anyway, it's in pieces. So we're going to get that here. I would like to do some videos on that. The Jeep is coming along nicely. I need to get back on doing videos on it. It's got some work done to it since the last, and need to film more. So it's my bad, but really appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video.